Economic cycles. So I think everyone knows that the economy generally follows a cycle, right? It goes up and it goes down. But the question is why? What causes these economic cycles that we experience? So the real economic cycles, which they don't want to teach us because it reflects how much of a corrupt system we live in, it's a credit and debt cycle, right? So we have a period of credit expansion. And what that means is that a lot of people are spending on credit. So I'll go on a quick tangent for a second here. There's two ways to spend on goods and services. With money, which means you're using your income, or with credit, which means you're taking on debt, right? So when you spend with money, you're using your income. When you spend with credit, you're taking on debt to spend more than you earn. Now, that in itself creates a cycle, right? Because you're saying this is your income. You're saying today I want to spend more than I earn, right? But in the future, I'm going to have to spend less than I earn in order to pay that debt back. So that's a cycle. And when you aggregate, when you sum all these cycles, all these little cycles of credit and debt in the economy, you get the credit and debt cycle. Okay? So the upturn, as we call it, is actually a period of credit expansion whereby everyone's spending on credit. No one's really spending on income. Everyone's spending on credit. Everyone's taking on debt to buy things. They're buying stuff on credit. And that props up the economy, gets to a state of euphoria because, everyone's living above their means, right? Because your income's here, but you're able to spend this much, so you're living above your means. It's all well and good. It's all happy. But then you get to the inevitable debt contraction. And I say inevitable, right? Because credit has to be paid back. It's debt. So credit turns into debt. So inevitably, you're going to have to pay it back. So inevitably, the economy is going to enter a debt contraction, and the mainstream calls it a downturn, but it's actually a period where we're paying back debt. So all this debt we've accrued, right? We've got this much income, but we've taken on this much debt. We've got a lot of debt and not a lot of income to service that debt, right? The downturn or the debt contraction, right, is when we need to pay back that debt. So we can either, it's very hard to raise income, so usually we just have to pay back that debt. And those are the cycles we experience. We go through periods of spending on credit, and there's heaps of euphoria, and we're spending and we're living above our means and whatever. And then you get to the debt contraction, where you're paying back that debt and you're having to spend less than you earn to pay back that debt. And those are the economic cycles we experience.